In this video, I'm going to walk you through how you can create a Google Doc or a PDF for your coaching or consulting business so you can get clients in 2025. Now, if you do this and you do this well, this could potentially add 6 to 7 figures to your existing business without you needing to take any more sales calls. In fact, ideally, you can eliminate them all together. So let's dive in. A little bit of background before we get into the specifics. In 2021, I moved away from the traditional approach to selling coaching, consulting, and mentorship. I'd done over 7 figures using that approach. I started venturing down the path of setters, closers, that kind of stuff, but it just wasn't for me. That is a model and it works, and I'm not saying that it doesn't, but it just wasn't the business that I wanted to build. As we see it here today, my business is me and my VA, and I love it. And I'm all about optimizing for enjoyment in business and life and finding that synergy. All right. And so I moved away from this path and needed to find an alternative. Right now, when I did this, there was always something that really stuck in the back of my mind as I came into the high ticket online space. And that's what I used to do before I came online was consulting to really big businesses. So we're talking like 500 million into the multiple billions on restructuring strategy, both operational and financial. And in those deals, in those multi-billion dollar deals, we got them done and we got them closed and we got them signed off and completed. We got companies relisted with simple term sheets. And so it's so funny to me when you come online and people are spending $5,000 and they need a 60-minute conversation to talk about it, right? Like it's just overkill and it's not necessary. And so through some of my own experimentation and discovery and learning and working with different mentors and testing a bunch of shit, I ultimately figured out what I think is a much better way to approach landing 4 and 5 figure clients without sales calls, right? Now, ultimately, this isn't going to be a fit for everybody, but if this is the type of business that you want, if you want a really freedom, lifestyle-driven business where you can send a link over email or over text or over the DMs and sign 4 and 5 figure clients, I think you're going to really enjoy this. I ultimately transitioned to this approach and since then have sold everything from $1,000 packages all the way up to $50,000 packages with this approach, okay? Now, a little bit of strategic and kind of tactical setup. This is really, really critical because if you take an existing traditional coaching business and just try to drop a Google Doc into it, it's going to bomb. Okay. There's a big distinction. The way most coaching, consulting, mentorship businesses are run is they are sales-driven businesses, right? That means that the heavy lifting is done one-to-one in the DMs and one-to-one on sales calls in the follow-up. It's in the sales part of the business, which is fine. It's one way to do things. But the dynamic changes when you're not face-to-face with somebody on a Zoom call, right? If you're texting them and the wrong thing happens, they can just put their phone down, right? It's a very, very different dynamic, okay? And so this is going to mean a couple of changes, but the big change is from a sales-driven business to a marketing-driven business. And the way that we do this is through an ecosystem for your brand that is filled with content that works 24/7, 365 and pre-sells people before the sales process, before they see the offer, pre-sells them on who you are and what you do. Okay. Now, this is a topic we can go deep on another time. I literally just uploaded a 3-hour brand workshop onto YouTube that you can go check out that'll help a lot with this. But the whole point is this: the content does the heavy lifting, not the sales process. That's the big shift and that's the big distinction. The Google Doc, the PDF, whatever it is, it's not for educating people on who you are and what you do. It's simply presenting them a pathway and an offer to move forward. Right person, right offer, right time, after they've been in your world for however long, could be hours, days, weeks, months, years, but they know who you are, they know what you do, and now it's just about, is this the right offer for them at the right time based on what they ultimately want to achieve, the problem they want to solve, the outcome that they want, all right? That's a very, very critical change. There's probably a fair amount of mindset work that needs to be done as well in order to move over to this way, because you really need to be able to kind of detach and sit back and chill out on the sales process. It's a very different approach. But from a strategic perspective, that's really, really important. Okay, so with that on the table, let's get into more of the particulars about the document itself. All right, now, since 2021, I have tested a lot of variations. I've tested really long documents. I've tested really short documents. I've tested very direct copy. I've tested more narrative style copy. I've tested different content sequences leading up to the document. I've tested different forms of media. I've tried a lot of different stuff. Okay. When it comes to the document, what I've ultimately boiled it down to is that it needs 6 core elements. Okay. Now, each of these can take on different forms and different lengths and different styles, depending on the business, the offer, the industry, the brand in particular. But 6 fundamentals that we're going to cover today. Okay. So the first one is the present problem / desired situation. The second one is the unique mechanism / approach / plan, right? And I'm going to explain all of these more. These fucking balloons that pop up whenever I do that. Clear deliverables, proof and results, duration, investment, and ROI with de-risking. And 6 is next steps. All right, we're going to go into each one of these, but they're the 6 core elements, okay? So elements 1 and 2 kind of go hand in hand, which is why I've lumped them together on the same slide. But the first 2 things, the goal is really to grab the attention of the person reading it, right? Make sure that they actually want to read the document, show you understand their problem, demonstrate you know their desired outcome, and present your unique solution. So it's really like point A, point B, bridge in the middle, okay? We want to keep this really concise. You really only need 1 to 2 pages. It must align with your brand and your content, right? It all has to flow nicely in one straight line. Okay, you need to focus on what your audience truly wants. And ultimately, this is the pathway to work for you from the work that the ecosystem and the content has already done. Okay, so on the right-hand side, I've got an example from one of my offers, which is called the Lifestyle Business Academy. This is a $2,000 offer, right? And you can see, I'll read it to you. Why? So this is like the start of the document. Why I created the Lifestyle Business Academy. Plain and simple, LBA exists to help people build a lean lifestyle coaching / consulting business that routinely spits out 20 to 50K per month cash profit. We achieve this without needing to do sales calls, building a big team, or complex funnels. This is the exact process I've used to make millions online while living an amazing life along the way and without working crazy hours. Right? This is what I talk about. This is what I do day in and day out, and this is what I help my clients do. So this is what's in the offer. Okay, so that's what it's all about. That's the outcome. That's the result, right? I know their pain points and frustrations of sales calls, not wanting to build a team, not wanting complex funnels. I've been there. I've fixed it. I've built a solution. And now I'm going to get into this specific 3-part process that we do. Okay, step number 1 is we nail your signature 4 to 5 figure coaching / consulting offer. This is an evergreen offer you can sell day in and day out with a simple Google Doc via chat or email. Just copy and paste the link to the doc and get paid over and over again. No long sales calls, no setters and closers, no webinars, simple, clean, and highly effective. Life changes in a big way when you've got this in your back pocket and can land clients anywhere, anytime with just the click of a button on your laptop or your phone. Okay, that is step 1. Step 2 is we build your conversion bridges. Okay, this is how we ultimately get hot leads coming to you daily wanting your signature offer. All right, we'll also build something called your rabbit hole resource that warms up leads on autopilot around the clock. We'll build it once and we'll let it go to work. Okay, this also includes a deadly refined email and DM strategy to turn leads into clients like clockwork. So this is the bridge that ultimately leads people to the document. Okay. Step 3, set up your automated brand and ecosystem growth strategy so that new people are finding you 24/7. You can copy and paste my 8-figure battle-tested traffic and content playbooks. So you've got a flood of new leads coming in daily from multiple sources. We've got you covered for organic and paid strategies, as well as a few secret ones very few people are talking about. This ultimately has new people finding your brand and your content, warming them up and nurturing them on autopilot 24/7 so they're ready to invest. In a nutshell, LBA is designed to plug you into the training, coaching, and guidance that you need to nail this ASAP and build a true lifestyle coaching / consulting business. And if you go look at my branding, you go look at my content, it's all about building a lifestyle coaching / consulting business. Very congruent, very aligned, even down to the name of the offer. Through the training, playbooks, and support inside, you'll know exactly how to create a banger offer quickly that sells without sales calls. and how to create your own personal brand and content ecosystem that generates and nurtures your traffic at scale 24 hours a day, 7 days per week, like clockwork. This is the exact same framework I've been following day in and day out for years to make millions for myself, and more importantly, make my clients many more millions. It's short, it's punchy. This is what we're going to build. These are the 3 steps we're going to do it, summarized, wrapped up. All right, that's a real world example. Okay, that's the first part. Problem, situation, solution. Element 3. So this was elements 1 and 2. Lump them up together. Element 3. Once we've presented that, so at this point, they've found you, they've been through all your content for however long they decide to hang out in your ecosystem. They've reached out, or you've gone to them, depending on your lead generation approach. They've read all that and they resonate with that. Now it's about how do we actually deliver this plan, right? So this is what we're going to build together. This is our 3-step plan. Practically, what are the deliverables and how are we going to bring this, right? What are the deliverables? Why does it matter? Provide a detailed breakdown of each, okay? Keep it direct and to the point. Be clear in its purpose. Tie it to, like, why is this valuable? Why is this here? And ultimately, you want to build, a big, cohesive package. Okay, I've given you a couple of examples, right, from that same document. There's more, but this is just the first couple. So number 1, one-to-one coaching call plus custom strategy plan with JC. Okay, in the first 7 to 10 days after you jump into LBA, you and I will hop on a one-to-one call to map out your custom business strategy. I'll build you a custom strategy plus tell you exactly what training to focus on, how to craft your offer, help you map out your brand and ecosystem, plus much more, so you leave with clarity on exactly how to move forward. Right? Clarity, I know, is a big hot button for people, and so I make sure that I emphasize it in there. I also make sure that I emphasize that we build a custom plan, and that the call, at least at the time that this is done, is with me personally, because I know people are sick of being palmed off to coaches who really don't have any experience. And so this is where all the little nuances of understanding your market and the points of difference in your offer really need to be layered in. Okay. Number 2, my lifestyle business blueprint. This program isn't available anywhere else online. You can't just buy this. It's not just a course. And before I developed LBA, it was only available to Inner Circle and Platinum private clients. These are 5 and multi-5-figure clients. Inside, I dive into the 3 simple steps used to generate millions myself and make my clients many more millions while living an amazing life at the same time. And then we go into the process, which aligns to what we spoke about at the top. It's really around nailing the offer and building the ecosystem and the bridges to ultimately tie it all together. Okay. Altogether, you'll have the foundations for a true lifestyle business that generates cash, is simple and fun to run. So we've got deliverable 1, deliverable 2, deliverable, and then an explanation of what they're all about, why they're there, and how it's critical to making it. And so you just list them, right? List the stuff. Don't have a ton of shit that's not relevant. Just put the stuff in that's important. But after you've gone through the problem, the situation, solution, boom, you're into the deliverables. Onto element number 4. Okay, this is all about proof and results. Okay, now we don't need to create a separate section for all of this. You can if you want to. We have had some clients that have done that, but weave it in throughout the document. All right, add social proof and results where it naturally makes sense to support your plan, back up your mechanism, validate your credibility, strengthen certain deliverables. Like with the playbook that I was talking about, it might mention that this playbook has made over $6 million, right? This can be your personal results, client results, real world validation, but just build them in where it feels right. I've given you a couple of examples on the side, right? Like I've worked with clients on this path who are in the startup first 6 figures phase all the way up to $1 million per month. That gives credibility around me and the fact that I'm working with clients at X level. Okay. This is the exact framework I've been following day in and day out to make millions. The thing fucking works, right? Inside, I dive into 3 steps, right? You'll get my vault of proven campaigns. These are done anywhere from, a few $1,000 in an hour all the way up to 150 grand in a 4-week period, so on and so forth. Sally used this to achieve this. Bob used this to achieve this, right? So where it makes sense, layer in social proof throughout the document, all right? Now, number 5, okay? So we've got our problem, situation, solution clearly mapped out. This is what it's all about. These are the deliverables. This is how we're going to bring it to life. This is what we're going to do together. All right. through it. We've been weaving through proof. This is not as critical in the document as you may think, because that's going to be typically built into your content and the relationship is already built at this point. So if they come into the document and they don't think that you get people results, it's not really going to matter anyway, but you can still weave it in throughout. All right. So number 5, now we're making the offer. So we put all that in. This part's really, really simple. All right. We want to be outlining the duration, the investment, and ROI, right? Like, how easy is it to get an ROI? We're not going to play the sales call games of, hiding everything until the last thing. Like, it's all in here. And you might be going, well, couldn't they just go to the price and then leave? Yeah, they could. But this is where it's a very, very different approach. If they see it, they go 2K, that just means that they're not at a point where they've got a relationship with your brand where they're prepared to invest that. That doesn't mean that lead is gone. It just means that it'll probably convert in the future. They drop back into your ecosystem, keep consuming until the timing makes sense in the future, right? There's a couple of key elements that we want to build in here in addition to the duration and the investment, and I've included an example for you, all right? So this says duration, 12 months, it's 2K when you pay it in full. All it will take is one client/sale using the strategy, content, and coaching inside, and the entire year pays for itself. Okay? So it's like we get a whole year together. I'm going to build you a custom plan. You're getting access to my full $6 million roadmap. If you sign one client, just one, this whole thing pays for itself. So it's upside, downside. Tiny downside, massive upside. All right. And then just to stack that even more and really de-risk it. And to make this a no-brainer so you can get your money back ASAP, I'm going to include my Fast Cash Rolodex, which normally sells for $1,000 as a free bonus. And there's literally, Fast Cash Rolodex is live. You can go spend $1,000 on it if you want to. This training focuses on making 4 to 5 figures cash in the next few hours to the next few days so that you can get a return on investment as quickly as possible. The Rolodex is, as the name suggests, a Rolodex of fast cash strategies that people can swipe, deploy. There's all the templates and stuff in there to go make money. So you can go get an ROI in the first day if they move quick, a few days if they move at a more moderate pace. And so that is all there to de-risk the decision. It's like, 2K, right? Some people, that's like $2. But for other people, 2K is a decent amount of money, right? And so this is really just about showing, look, if you can just, with everything that you're going to get and all this time that we've got together, do you think you can land one client? And if that's not the case and you don't have that confidence in yourself, then there's probably more work that needs to be done before we even talk about building strategy, because the mindset work's clearly not there. All right. And then on top of that, I'm going to give you this thing that is specifically designed to get you an ROI immediately. Just take it, swipe it, paste the posts, you're going to be good. Okay, so that's really all there to de-risk the investment. All right. I've also included a couple of optional additions that you can layer in, and this is really where it depends on the individual offer, and I've got some more comments on that in a second. Okay, you got things like payment plans, you got guarantees, you got additional bonuses, other risk reversal strategies that you can ultimately layer in. This is very case by case depending on the offer, the market, the brand, the content that people are seeing in the lead up. I don't want to give you a one size fits all here because it really depends. And this isn't like a it depends throwaway comment. It's like it actually depends on your situation, your business, what you're trying to build, the market that you're selling into. There's quite a few variables. Okay. But all we do is we just make the offer. We just put it on the table. All right. Once we've done that, it's just about giving people clear next steps. And you just want it to be one simple, clear path. You can put the link to enroll directly. You can see an example of that. Or you can give them a specific keyword or phrase to reply back to you on email, DM, text, whatever, to move forward. Okay. Don't give them 15 million pathways. Don't tell them to do this, then call their aunt, then fucking, all these things, right? Just make it incredibly clear. Just if they want to move forward, make it effortless. Click here or send me this message. Right? Really, really simple. Now, as I was talking about before, once you've got all those elements together in the document, it's really about fine-tuning it for your market, your voice, your offer, your situation. And you can do that yourself, or you can work with someone like me who's done this over and over and over again, and we can do it quicker with more certainty. All right. But a couple of core success principles: keep it clear, keep it simple, and keep it congruent with the experience that people are having on the front end. If they resonate with your content, they resonate with your brand, align that offer as much as you can, and it will make it a really seamless transition from lead to client. Okay. Those 6 elements are going to form your foundation. And from there, it becomes a needs basis depending on the situation. All right. So from here, if you're going to make this move, or if you've already done this and you're looking to dial things in, remember that it's about having that ecosystem growing and nurturing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, year round. That's key. We've got to be constantly nudging, building those relationships at scale. We're also wanting to be continuing to refine the offer messaging in and making sure that it's super congruent and aligned to the content that we are putting out. From there, it's about ratcheting up the volume of offers that you make. That's how many calls to action you make. That's how many times you put it in front of people in the DMs. And that's a combination of both what you say in your content and the amount of traffic that you're pushing through the ecosystem. Okay. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that you got value out of that. If this is something that you want to explore more, feel free to drop me a DM with the phrase LBA and we can dive into it inside my academy. Otherwise, you're welcome to hang around, and I think you'll enjoy the content if you got value out of this one. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.